Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's PreMarket Prep with your host, Joel Elconin.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I'm bidding a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to PreMarket Prep. Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin, Dennis Dick with you this morning. Buy the dip, wins again. How many times have I've probably said that same exact sentence, I don't know, a couple hundred times in the last few years. But it does seem like it always wins, doesn't it? So we'll talk about buy the dip. We'll talk about the Russell, right? What was out of favor? Was in favor yesterday. Funny how that works out. We'll talk about Coinbase. We will talk about Best Buy. They had earnings this morning. We'll talk about Alibaba, I imagine, as well. We'll take questions from our chat. No guest for the first hour today at 9. I'll be joined, though, by Rance Masheck from iVest Plus. He's been in the markets for like decades, so we'll have a good talk. And let's bring Joel's charts on. Let's bring Joel on. Guys, good morning. Good to be back with you. I missed you yesterday. And how are we doing this morning?
Who's the guest on at 9? What's the last name?
Masheck.
How do you spell that?
Masheck.
Okay, because good buddy of mine from high school, Mickey Masheck.
Okay.
Mishiak.
Maybe
Great guy.
Maybe they're cousins.
Okay. All right. S&P futures, 12-point range overnight. We're up 6 1/4 at 4481.75. Kind of hanging out near the low, but no one wants to hit the bid yet. Crude continuing 2-day rally up 98 cents at 66.62. Gold, let's call it flat here at 1805.70. Silver, high-low silver trying to rally. That's only up 7 cents at 23.72. Bitcoin, just over $1,000 range, hanging out near 50K, up $85 at 49,385. And your Ethereum futures, they're up $21 at 3,332. And Triple D wants to start out talking about Coinbase.
Do I?
Maybe he does.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know what he wants to talk about.
I don't know what I want to talk about either. I'll talk about Coinbase. Did anybody catch that competitors segment there? Did they catch the CNBC segment on Coinbase here this morning, chat? Interesting. I was actually very surprised. So just to sum it up, they were featuring one person who had their account hacked at Coinbase, and they're basically all their money is gone, and they've tried to call Coinbase multiple times. Nobody returns their calls, and eventually they just got a letter back saying, well, it was done by a third party and there's nothing we can do. I was like, wow, that makes me want to open a Coinbase account right away. So my account gets hacked and you're not going to call me back, and you're just going to send me an email saying, sorry, done by a third party, not up to us, you're on your own. Scary.
It's not affecting it. They're not hitting it. I mean, I don't know what the big
nobody
deal
watches
is.
CNBC, Joel, so they're not hitting it because nobody saw the segment. There's a few people, there's some traders that watch CNBC, but this wasn't run on like 60 Minutes. So, I mean, this is stuff we do know about crypto. I mean, we know the risk of hacking. Even if you have your own wallet, that gets your little 12-digit code or whatever it is. I mean, this is why I'm not a crypto trader. I trade the crypto stocks. I know the stocks are there. I mean, but when you look and you actually dig down into it, there's no SIPC insurance at U.S. brokerages either for hacking. So if your account gets hacked, the one thing, if you have a JP Morgan account, though, you are going to get at least a person to talk to about it. And I'm sure there's going to be some recourse. I'm sure the brokerage can do everything they can in their power to try to get it back, where when you have somebody coming in and hacking your Coinbase account and they transfer all of your Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever you've got to another wallet, it's hard to reverse or almost impossible to reverse that transaction. So it's a little bit of a different story, and it's a major issue. So it didn't make me feel all warm and fuzzy and making me want to run and open a Coinbase account after watching that segment. I'll tell you that.
All right. Well, raise your hand if you have check your Coinbase account this morning just to be safe. Just me. Okay.
I got a
Did
five.
did you go check yours? Is your money there?
Yeah.
You checked it?
Yeah. Just to be safe. I haven't checked it for a while, so it's good.
I gotta find my password. 260. I got a 5-star level for you. It's not coming into, may not come into play today. 266.50, 3 high. Well, exact double top at that area. Another one at 65.43, 67.75. But I really like 66.50 for you, Coinbase traders.
They're saying in the full disclosure, I did not watch the segment, but they're saying in the chat, Dennis, that it wasn't Coinbase's fault. It was
apparently because they sent the note out to the customer saying it wasn't their fault.
Right.
so that's already been determined.
Okay.
I don't know the logistics on how you hack. I don't know how it went through. Actually, I'm sure the people who got hacked don't exactly know how it happened either. So I don't know. We can jump to conclusions, but I'm just saying
I don't know.
There's definitely risk involved when you're holding cryptocurrency. Hacking risk is there. It is real. And if you're whatever you're holding, if they can hack into, even if you're holding it in your own wallet, they hack in there and they get her. To my understanding, it's pretty much gone. Am I right there?
Yeah, there's the regulatory framework isn't quite there. To
protect you.
The FDIC, the SIPC insurance, all that. It's there for the if you have an account at if you buy your crypto at I think like Robinhood has it, right? Like all the brokered traditional like stock brokerages have it, right? But not Coinbase, I think. Anyway, let's move on.
Anyway, I'm not opening a crypto account or Coinbase account anytime soon if I can't get a hold of customer service. I mean, that's ridiculous, and that's maybe the major issue here. Maybe these people did something wrong, but it'd be nice to actually be able to call somebody and talk about what happened. Your money's all gone. Okay, well, we're just going to send you a nice little note, and that's it, but you can't talk to anybody. So I think that was what my major concerns is that nobody's there to answer the phone.
Don't you just, whenever I get those automated things, they're like, oh, right even before they say, press 1, I'm like, 0, 0, operator, boom, 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 boom.
I also do.
And if it doesn't work, then I call back and hang again. I go boom, 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 till I get somebody. So
it's hard to get real people on the phone for any business anymore. No matter where you go, you start in the automation, you go through the loop.
Sure.
Try the IRS. You go through the automation loop for about 25 minutes, and then they hang up on you. So it's once you're ready to get to a real person. So it's tough. I mean, it's tough to get real people on the phone anymore. If you can come up with a business that actually answers the phone with a real person right off the bat, that's $1 million idea.
We're in a labor.
We just give them away on.
We're in a labor shortage, guys. It's not that easy.
That's the business to get into. We actually have humans answering the phone. That's great business because it's tough.
Real quick, Spencer, before you move on. Mental Capital says can hardly talk to TradeStation support. LOL. You know what? I have to disagree. Because if you go to their platform, you can set up a phone call in a time that they will call you, and it's easy. And they usually call like at the 10 and 11. They'll call you right at 10. So I disagree with you on that one, Mental Capital.
You think Coinbase is good?
No, not Coinbase, TradeStation.
No, sorry, TradeStation. I don't know why I have Coinbase on the brain. I meant to say TradeStation.
Yeah, I mean that's
early morning brain right there.
Okay, let's talk about yesterday.
Are you recovered, Dennis? Are you all recovered and everything?
I'm still tired.
Are you feeling okay?
Forever tired.
Such
perpetual tiredness when you have 2 young kids trading, building houses, and doing everything else, and trying to.
What was that picture? Were you digging a ditch the other day? Did you have a bad Friday or something? You sent me a. His wife said, "Get out there and dig a ditch."
No, I know. I dug in. Yeah, me and my dad, we poured a catch basin and a trough and dug in a 6-inch tile, 120-footer. I just looked and I know what that costs, and we had $1,000 in material on the job. And to be honest, somebody coming in and digging in a 120-foot tile, pouring a trough, catch basin, the whole deal, be $5,000-$6,000. So I was like, we can do that. Took us a week, hurt our backs, but my dad's excellent. So
just work your old man.
Dad worked construction so we still, he's 70 years old and he was moving a whole pile of gravel with a wheelbarrow. So my dad's still in pretty good shape.
And your mom was playing Candy Crush in the background.
She does like playing. It's not Candy Crush anymore. It's and she's gonna be mad at me.
We're gonna get her on.
What's the
Michael
game she plays?
Pachter.
She's a gamer. She's really good at the game.
We'll get her on with Michael.
No,
Pachter.
we send her. She goes and gets the material for us when we go. We send her for the material.
All right, let's go. Spencer's
Okay,
gonna get
I
mad at
want
us.
your thoughts. I got Joel's thoughts on it yesterday, but I want Dennis's thoughts on just the rally in the small caps yesterday.
Nice.
This IWM, you've been complaining about it for months.
No, 6 days because it was down for 6 days. It felt like months because I
Right.
complained every day, but it was down for 6 days.
Right, it did feel like anyway, the small caps had a great day yesterday, outperforming the large caps, which we hadn't seen for a hot second.
Yeah.
What do you make of that? We had breath.
Finally, the market comes back, and you know what? Didn't it feel better yesterday? This is my argument. S&Ps have been basically making new highs throughout all of this. And it feels like this doesn't feel like, this is indicative of what my portfolio is doing.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? A lot of, stocks in my portfolio were up significantly yesterday, including my Las Vegas Sands. I mean, how many days does Las Vegas Sands rally?
Still in that pig,
like I think that stock rallies once, one every 25 days. It even had a good day. The market's strong when Las Vegas Sands is green on the day. Yes, I'm still in there, Joel. It's been an awful stock.
Didn't Tim Quast kind of go at you? Was that before the show?
I don't know.
He can't wait to hear your argument about why
S&P. Why the S&P?
You got some Twitter, Twitterness.
Yeah, he was just asking why the S&P is a poor indicator for the market. Obviously we've argued that the 24% is 5 stocks, so there were 495. But it just feels like, and I don't know, obviously IWM is going to focus more on small caps. The Dow's focused, on the really obviously higher price stocks. It's price weighted index. You have the S&P. But I just feel like when I'm hedging myself with SPY, it's not doing a very good job anymore. It used to be like 2 years ago, I used to feel like I was hedged well, and now I have to overhedge. Meaning if I'm like long $1 million worth of stocks, I got to short like 1.5, 1.6 million worth of SPY to actually be hedged, which is weird. It never used to be that way. It used to be you own 30, 40 stocks. Okay, your portfolio is moving with the S&P. It's not the case. So as a hedger, I'm just telling you it feels different.
Okay.
And it's probably because if you don't have one of those big 5 in there, it is different. So I've actually been using the IWM, and it's been working a little bit better, which is, again, that's small caps. So, and it's not as much tech components. So you kind of mix. So I'm like SPY, a little bit of IWM, a little bit of Qs, and now I feel like I'm hedged better. So I've got to almost use all 3 of those vehicles. And obviously I'm always picking on the ones that are very liquid. Some people say, oh, this is better, but I need liquidity. I want a 2-3 cent market in the after hours as well. So like I look at IWM right now and I got a 3 cent spread. Let's get 2 cent spread. SPY, 2-3 cent spread. You need the liquidity, so you need to be in the big vehicles. You can't go to some exotic ETF and expect to get in or out after hours. But I don't know. I'm just saying that SPY doesn't feel like it works as well as a hedge as it did 2 years ago. And I'm pretty sure
no one's going to know better than you. I'm not going to argue with that.
And that's because those top 5 components have moved from 10 or 11% to 24%. So it's impacted the hedgers, which is me.
All right, Spencer.
That's my complaint.
All right, Spencer. We're gonna let Spencer go.
What was your reaction to just like it felt better yesterday, right? Las Vegas Sands went up, but tell us how you played it.
I'm always playing the same way, and this is something we talked about on Saturdays. It doesn't matter to me. It felt better because my long-term portfolio went up.
Okay.
I wasn't, getting hit, and obviously my retirement account, it's always long. I don't short stocks in my long-term retirement account. It's just long. So it felt good that my long-term portfolio was actually coming back a little bit yesterday. My trading account is completely independent from market moves. What's that mean? Because I'm trading market neutral. So I have equal longs, equal shorts, usually dollar hedged, sometimes beta hedged if it's really, if I'm really feeling like I got some risky stocks on. But for the most part, my P&L and my trading portfolio is linked to volatility. It's not linked to whether the market's going up or down. So I could care less if I'm hedged right. I care less whether the market goes up or down. So a big rebound yesterday in IWM doesn't impact me whatsoever. I don't make more money trading on a day that the rebound. I actually probably make less on a day that we would be down significantly. I do better on the down days because then efficiencies go up on down days. So as a trader, I do nothing different. I'm, doing inefficiencies. I'm trading my same strategies, which we talked about in the Saturday session for a couple of hours. And strategies I've talked about on the show, but I'm not doing anything different. But from a swing trading or a long-term perspective, yeah, if you were long some stocks, obviously they're coming back, and 90% of our listeners are probably long only. So it feels good that, the people, are obviously not losing money by IWM going down 6 days in a row. So a lot of it came back. So what do you do now if you're long only? I don't know. Are you coming in buying stocks now, Joel? We just rallied from IWM from 210 to 220. We got back half the losses from the vicious 6-day sell-off in 2 days. Are you coming in buying now?
No, I'm not selling either, though.
Yeah, but you're a long-term investor. But as a trader, would you be like, okay, now I got to get in?
The only difference is like I tried one short yesterday, and I'm like, oh, that's wrong. Boom,
Shorts are
reverse
tough on
and
tough
go
days.
long. Right. The only one I wanted to buy yesterday, and I wanted to buy it for the long-term portfolio, and I choked, and now I don't know what to do, was Alibaba. That was one.
Even Baba went up yesterday.
Yeah, but it was price action.
Frankly,
Yeah.
I mean,
Go ahead.
Look at this morning. Look at JD this morning, right? I mean, look at.
Kathy bought more JD.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Yep.
She buys JD every day.
No, she was selling for a while.
Was she selling JD for a bit?
Yeah.
She's now turned to buy the dip and sell the rip. She's always been buy the dip. She's added sell the rip to her arsenal.
They were selling.
If she's done that, I might actually have to get long Kathy Wood.
They were selling a hardcore a couple weeks ago. Hardcore. They were selling all the names.
Buy the dip, sell the rip, win money. Isn't that how it works? Buy the dip, sell the rip, win money.
We don't mention Kathy anymore.
Well, she doesn't move stock. She does not influence. She lost her influence. Like I used to always go and I'd see, okay, she bought. Let's go. We'll give her some love. Kathy, we love you.
Okay, ready?
Going into her. And did you see in the email, she cleaned them up? Man, it looks nice.
Yeah, they look
the new email that you got is really clean to read now.
It looks real good. So, okay.
Show it, because we want to give her some love. Show her email. I'm sure.
I have to share my
Is she going to give us trouble for that?
No, I don't think so. I
have
to share my screen.
She likes Jason.
Give me 10 seconds to I'll just do it that way. This is my email screen. You can't see anything else right now. Okay. This is what it looks like.
Don't show stuff. You don't get hacked.
No, this is what it looks like now, right?
Yeah, it's nice and clean.
So it looks all pretty.
Oh yeah, it's even colored. I just go straight to the buys. They're all organized. Each fund, what you bought, what you sold.
So okay, so we'll scroll down here. Here's the part that's interesting, right? So they bought JD. Yeah. Actually, that was the only Chinese name that they bought.
But if you look, and we used to always see, oh, she bought Fate Therapeutics, so that'll be way up tomorrow. Up 3, 4, 5%. It's up 1%, but the market's up. So SRNG, which is this back, those things never move. Period. BEAM, no movement whatsoever. I'm just going through the ones that she bought in ARKK. SGFY, no movement whatsoever. TSP, it's up 20 cents, which is 0.59%. So basically not much more in the market. BCYT. This is why we don't talk about her as much, Joel, because you know what? She buys something and nobody cares. Well, once they start caring again, then I will start, looking at these emails again. But it seems like it just doesn't impact stocks. Her opinion isn't impacting stocks.
Let's go back to Baba. Let's go back. That's how this all started. Let's go back to Baba here because we're up again this morning, right? Joel seems to think that he missed the boat for some reason when we're down 50%.
It was just in
a year.
Man, it was just so beat up, and then you got to think about the Baba price action. I feel it's like, well, we are late to the game, right? I mean, it's trading, overseas. You get, of course, you get reversed.
Baba doesn't trade. Baba only trades, or they did uplist it a while ago to Hong Kong. I forgot because it used to be only just U.S. listed, and then they did put a listing on there, a year ago in Hong Kong?
Yeah, it's public and it trades in Hong Kong.
It never was, though. So it actually, believe it or not, Chinese company actually only trade in the U.S., and then they just uplisted, when was it? Chat can help me. It was about a year ago.
It was like a year ago. It was actually, that's kind of how this whole thing started, was they listed in Hong Kong, and then they were doing the anti-IPO, and that's how this whole mess kind of started.
So it started.
Yeah, so
that was the selling. Yeah, that was the time to sell when they started attacking for Ant. Right. So Joel, continue your technical thoughts.
It's like we're behind. by trading it. I just think they have a big edge because another reason that I was thinking about it is because it popped 7 points off the low. And then I was thinking to myself, man, this is going to be up tomorrow. And then it went another 4 or 5 points after hours. And then boom. I mean, less liquid markets, the people that are going to be trading tomorrow, they're probably getting out of their longs from yesterday morning, in these kind of prices. It's just another one of my stupid conspiracy theories. But just watch the price action.
What I said, probably last week, I think, was like, and I think this may have been dumb to say, but like, what you'd want to see, obviously, what you want to see in like Alibaba is you'd want to see like the thing go sideways for a while, right? Like form a base. But what's going to happen, and it already did happen to some extent, is it's not going to go sideways. It's going to go from 150 to like 190 or
that's
2,
what they do,
or 2, and then back to 160, right? Like that's what it's going to do. So it's going to end up at 180, 190.
Yeah.
We're going to be like, oh, what do we do? What do we do? Right?
The chop and slop.
Yeah.
That's what this market is. It's all chop and slop.
Yeah.
And obviously, we have big round, in individual stocks, there's been some wicked volatility, even though on the overall SPY it doesn't move, but there's been some wicked volatility in individual stocks. I mean, it was way oversold. We talked about it's been oversold. It's been oversold for a long time.
Okay, so can we come in here now? Bob is at 169 this morning.
Can just rally from 152 to 169? So like 10% in 2 days. That is not the name of the game.
Yeah, I can't. Nope.
That is not the name of the game.
I tell you right now,
not by the rip.
If I had a little trade on it, though, I'd be like licking my chops. Let's see here. We got a gap to fill up to 172.11. First things first, let's take out the pre-market high. We're just bid here. Bid right at the pre-market high. What I would love to see is like a this rally continue a couple days, maybe get up 172, 173, and then it get China again, and then, pull back.
I like that.
Hey, we just made a new low. We're Dennis, what do you got going on over there? Cancel some bids. We just moved down 2 points.
Oh yeah,
it's an economic collapse.
It's a crash.
Yep, flash crash. Hey, were there big selling balances yesterday? Do you remember? I know it's hard for you to.
There wasn't much. I don't.
It wasn't
much. I can't remember my name half the time, Joe. I don't recall if there was all big selling. I don't remember there being much on the close.
Are you
shocked because we didn't?
Benzinga is the wrong place for financial news, and at why are you here then? I don't understand.
Joel, we don't talk about the negative chat. We ignore. So here's
why is he here?
Here's the inside scoop. Joel doesn't, but we get negative comments in the chat. We try to ignore them because they just obviously we don't want to draw attention to or negative. But more so is that I try not to let it bother you. So
it doesn't.
Honestly, because I'm somewhat opinionated. I think people know that. I put an opinion on Twitter. I know, like when I say something like last night, I said Boston Dynamics is way ahead of Tesla when it comes to bots. I have literally people even DMing me with hate. I knew when I sent that out that I'm probably going to get some hate on this. How do I respond? I don't respond to those ones. Typically don't respond. And if they give a good argument, I might engage, but you engage and then you go down the slippery
slope. He knows when he hits send.
Oh yeah. So, whenever you put out an opinion on Twitter, you can be expected that not 100% of people are going to agree with your opinion. When we give an opinion on a stock, it is highly likely that not 100% of people are going to agree with that opinion, especially when it's negative. So the best thing is just either, you give your arguments, you ignore it, or, you can engage, but just know that you're probably not going to change somebody else's opinion.
If I can play mediator for a second, what Solar Up was asking, and in Solar Up, I passed your question along to the news desk. He was asking if we can maybe find out if one company has a stake in Moderna as their compensation for helping with the vaccine. So I passed it along to the news desk, Solar Up. They will do their work and try to answer your question for you. But we do not know on this show. We have no idea to answer your question about unless it's in the filing, in which case I suppose we could look it up right now. But let's talk about Best Buy. Okay.
We after the close though, right?
What?
No.
Oh, they're already out.
Just reported.
No, yeah, they're out this morning.
Out.
We said yesterday.
Joel probably put 3BY. He always confuses.
Yeah,
he always puts the extra B in there.
On my notes.
Stop. Did you do it?
I did on my
He
notes.
did. I knew it. He's like, I don't see BBY moving. He always puts the extra B in for BBY. He goes BBBY. I knew it right away.
We said that the bar was high, right, from last week. But frankly, the tea leaves are saying they were probably going to crush it, and that's exactly what happened. They did. They crushed it. Earnings per share blew away the estimate. They made almost $3 per share last quarter, $2.98 versus an estimate of $1.85. Sales beat by almost $500 million, 11.8 versus 11.49. They gave Q3 revenue guidance above estimates. They gave full year revenue guidance above estimates. They raised their comp sales growth guidance from 9% to 11%. So we thought it would be good. It was good, and the stock is reacting as such.
It's way different than last quarter. Wasn't last quarter a disaster, or was it no? It was two quarters ago, 6 months ago. So this thing, like, and then you can see it back in February. Would be, I believe it was February. Big down move there, bad quarter, and then last quarter was good. We can see the gap up back in May, and now this quarter it's good again. So random walk for Best Buy earnings. You're coming right up at the major resistance point, that little pesky double top.
Yeah, exactly.
Joel, I'm stealing you've taught me too much.
I know.
You've taught me too much, and now I can take your technical analysis and run with it. But you know what? It's good stuff. Double tops, double bottoms. Love all that stuff.
That 122 psychological level, you know what I mean? So you hit 120, you backed off $2, so the buyers got some heavy lifting to do. And if they did, I don't think I'd be totally convinced until you took out 120.55. I could just see some big orders at 120, 120.10. Theoretically, I can see these orders. I don't actually see them in the book. Layering up 5,000 at 120.10. 10,000 at 120.15, 20,000 at 120.20. Then maybe sneak in like a 122, 123, 124, 125 in case someone gets real excited and they think, oh, I'm just going 125 bid. And then all of a sudden they get saddled with like what they thought was 100 lots. And all of a sudden they got like a boatload of stock.
That's a lot of detail.
Yep.
Okay.
You got to think about it before it happens, but we're $2 off the high. I like that 1.8. If you want an intermediate level, if you just want to say, all right, I missed 120, I got to reevaluate here. I take a look at 119.22.5. That separates the highs from August 11th and then August 12th, 1915 and 1930.
Just to follow up on some of the stocks that we talked about on the At the Close show yesterday, I mentioned Cara Therapeutics, CARA, because it was halted for a couple hours, and it came out of the halt at 4 hours. It came out of the halt after hours at 4:15. They had FDA approval for a drug, and what did it open at? It opened at 17, I think. It opened at
higher than that, I thought.
17.20.
Oh, yeah, I think he's right.
And went to 19. So we're just sort of hanging out in that area right now. But
you're in a gap area, like major gap. There's nothing in here. And Joel, I know you like your gaps. What a gap you got in this one back in April 25, all the way down to 16, 18. So you have just all air everywhere in here.
Yeah, I was looking at something on monthlies. I might have been, where was it? No, I think I drilled back into the dailies or something. I don't know. Are you going to get back up to 19 again? That was the push off the reopening, and then the 4 a.m. 8 traders got it back up there. So pre-market high target 19.10, and it looks like someone wants to own this at 17. Not me. But there's your projected early range for now, 17 to 19.10. Below 17, I mean, who knows where to go? The only people who will be buying if we break out 17 will be people that shorted it early and could care less about the gap fill down to 14.64.
Let's talk Riot Blockchain for a second. Earnings after the close yesterday. They're just revenue is tied to Bitcoin, so revenue was up huge year over year. Obviously, right? Same with everything was up year over year. Yeah. Bitcoin's up year over year. Yeah. So that I don't know.
These stocks just Riot, Mara, BT. They obviously just moved with Bitcoin. The charts are all very similar. Coinbase is a lower beta play, same way though. I pair trade these things all the time. Riot versus Mara, they're great to pair against each other because the relationship is very strong. Obviously, keep an eye on Bitcoin prices and sometimes try to get ahead of it, but the bots are pretty good too on it. So, yeah, we've talked these stocks lots of times before. An individual earnings report, I don't know if it impacts it much.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Nice run. Fouls Bitcoin. Kind of lazy. What are we doing? Got to hold unchanged. That's all I'm saying. It's up. You want to see it hold unchanged. If it doesn't hold unchanged here, what was unchanged here exactly? 35.73. A little bit above that. Important. You're only 25. Feels a little tired to me after the big run up to 40 plus, the dip down. Boy, this thing's volatile. Down to under 32. Back up. So, I don't know. Looks a little tired to me. We'll see what happens.
I feel a little tired too.
All right, let's do some tickers from the chat.
Ooh, early ticker
tickers,
time.
man.
Wow.
What?
Off the board with this.
Well,
Jesus. Bring back Mitch.
Actually, you're
Bring
throwing the
back
whole
Mitch.
routine right out the window today, Spencer.
There's only room enough for the two of us.
I mean, what? Okay, we don't have to do ticker time.
Oh, I love the idea.
we-
Times
we
at
can-
9. This is stonks. We
can
gotta
do-
talk stonks.
We can do other stuff.
They're
Did we
throwing
go
them
through the
out
doc
there.
already?
Joel, you haven't been in the dock in months.
Somebody just paid us for a ticker.
You know
$2.
why? You know why I'm not in the doc? Because
Why?
I fill up the doc, and then Dennis comes on and is like, "We're not talking about that. That's old news. I don't want to talk about that.
Nobody.
That happened yesterday." So I'm
I
like,
got
"What the
whole
hell?"
I got the doc from last night. I write down, and I'm trading for 4 hours straight, and I write down all the action that I see, and that usually a lot of that carries over to the next day. What I had on my sheet to talk was China, which we kind of touched into.
Kind of
with
did.
Alibaba.
Sort of.
Coinbase was circled. I also had these dividend increases. There's a few stocks. CWH doubled their dividend. So I thought that was interesting too. But we
Who
can
did?
come back to that. Let's do some ticker time.
Camping World, he said.
Camping
Yeah, I know.
World,
I'm not going to take over.
CPW?
We already went to ticker
No,
time.
'cause
I'm not running the show.
No,
Dennis,
we can't do ticker time for 28 minutes.
De-
Ticker time's at 9.
Yeah, Joel does ticker time.
Dennis likes to
Yeah.
scoff. Dennis likes to scoff at stocks at Camping World. Oh, Camping World doesn't matter to the
I
market.
like camping.
Doesn't matter to the
I
market.
went camping a month ago. I'm into camping
And you
now.
caught
I used
COVID.
to hate camping, but now in the COVID times, I love camping, except that I get sick camping somehow. But anyways,
What's it, CPW?
CWH, Camping World,
CWH.
double the
Doesn't-
dividend.
Doesn't affect the market. Oh,
Double the
CWH.
dividend,
Let
Joel.
me
They
see.
said, no, our 25 cent, we're doubling the dividend, double the quarterly dividend. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, there's so many businesses that are really breaking it in right now, Camping World being one of them. Do we see more dividend increases? Because we also saw a REIT, NRZ. They raised their dividend by 20% as well. So, which is, impressive because it already had like an 8% yield and they jacked it up even more. So you have two dividend raise day, NRZ and CWH, and both stocks are trading up 5% and 6% respectively. This market loves dividend raises. It loves to get paid.
How's Winnebago doing? Pretty good.
Maybe they're going to raise the dividend.
strong.
Yeah, it looks pretty good though. Okay.
You-
All right. I mean,
Ooh, what's this?
if you own a stock, good for you. Am I going to go? I don't know. You said that one has an 8% dividend. Which one's? And they raised it to 10. Which one's that?
NRZ. Yeah, they jacked
Wow.
it up even more.
I'm going to look
REITs.
at that one today. Look
Yeah,
at
there
that.
you go, Joel, making money. You
Yeah.
almost beat inflation with that one.
I assume that you guys talked the vaccine stocks yesterday.
Did you hear Pfizer got FDA approval?
I thought I heard that. I'm not sure though. Did they?
And Moderna's next.
That's sarcasm.
Moderna's next. That's what they said. That's what.
Cool. Let's all
Uh,
go get our Pfizer shots now. Oh, we already did.
Well, in terms of I don't know if you watched the price action yesterday in them, but Pfizer popped, wasn't able to hold. Moderna pretty much did the exact opposite. Dropped
Yeah.
at the open and then it closed at the high of the day.
We talked about the Pfizer pop in the open and saying that, I think that was yesterday. I'm losing
It
track
was.
of days.
It was.
I'm pretty sure it was. We saw the Pfizer and the BioNTech. BioNTech did hold though.
Yeah.
So I said both of those I didn't think was going to hold. BNTX did. Pfizer, it held some of the gains though. I'm still long Pfizer in the long-term portfolio.
Same
Stock
here.
is still cheap. Sticking with the long term, but short term, it's overbought, just like Bob is oversold. I mean, this is a big move. 40 to 50 in Pfizer in 1 month. That's a
Oh
huge move. That's probably one of its biggest moves in a long time. 10 points, up 25%. Pfizer in a month. That's a big move. So I'm not chasing it up here.
I gave one number yesterday. I'm going to stick with that one number. 50.42 all-time closing high. Yeah, you were probably swearing at me when I went to 51 and change or something like that. It went to yesterday. It
Nobody
went
swears,
to
Joel. We don't like swearing.
51.36, and you're saying, why did I sell this at 50.42? And then it came back down. So, big volume yesterday too. So maybe a little bit of liquidation. Myrna, I mean, we talked about this too. I mean, it's just a different technical situation because you got people stuck. Well, it's going through 500, it's going to 600, it's going to 700, and it went to 350. And now you're trying to get half of that move back. You better get half of that move back soon and hold, or I think you see another down leg there.
Yeah, it's not easy sailing the second time up.
No,
You don't
not
have
at
clear
all.
skies anymore. The skies are cloudy. And that's one thing, you know, with technical analysis too. We talk about that all the time. When your stock's making new all-time highs, it's clear skies, no pain above. Stocks can easily move, just like Moderna quickly in 5 days moved from 350 to almost 500. Now you got some overhead supply. Now you've got some cloudy skies, maybe some rain. So it's not as easy to just, you know, fly up back up to 500. There's going to be willing sellers there. Now, it didn't trade up there for that long, so it can. I'm not saying it can't, but it's not as easy as if it was completely clear skies.
Someone asked why Nvidia is tanking. Tanking is a strong word. It's down. It's down $3.
Well,
it's down $3. Right, right. It was up $10 yesterday. It's down to $3 this morning. I think tanking is
$1.73. I mean, why is it down today? This is an extreme move even for Nvidia. In 3 days, it went from 187 to 220. It literally went up 15% in 3 days. So is it due for a 0.76% pullback? Yeah. I mean, a little healthy pullback here. Am I like, you know, going bearish Nvidia and the party is over? No. Stocks making new all-time highs and pull back 1% or, you know, usually not. Like, not saying it can't come all the way back down, but, you know, it's overbought. So it's a little bit of selling pressure, a little bit of profit taking. Does it continue to stay overbought? Probably. It's Nvidia. Probably will make new all-time highs again in the short future.
It just now the close was by the high, so I'm not giving you
the 220 is probably big.
Yeah, 220. Yeah, some
didn't go through it,
here.
did it? Did it go through? No, 219.97. So I'd imagine there's something happening at 220.
Yeah, just got a little tired. Well, I'm just going to throw this number out here, and you know, don't lead on it. Don't do anything major with it. But if you were thinking you wanted to get long or potentially cover short, this is like a 1-star number, 216.36.
Someone asked about Palo Alto. Forgot that they reported, to be honest.
Yes.
How did you forget PANW? This is the best report of the night.
It is a good report. Their earnings beat, their sales beat. They gave billings guidance for the year that was good. They gave revenue guidance that was good. They gave EPS guidance that was good.
Yeah.
They also announced their increase their remaining authorization for a future buyback up to $1 billion. So they're basically saying we could buy back more money in the future. Earnings beat, guidance beat, buyback increase, and they're getting how many ratings this morning? Holy cow.
Everybody upgrading it?
They're all like raising their price targets now. How many of these? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
God, are you guys trying to get me bearish?
13. There's 13.
Are you trying to get me bearish?
Increases this morning. Oh my gosh.
That's how they roll. Analysts chase price.
We even do that
ACP.
segment.
Analysts chase price. And that's what they got to do. And then certain stocks start ripping higher, then they start chasing price once again. I mean, we're talking about cyber hacks all the time. And here's another stock, you know, obviously maybe the king of that industry. And you got the stock now making a new all-time high, taking out 3 tops from 405, 406, or 415. Stocks are making new all-time highs. I don't like being short them.
I mean, it's just hanging up here. So someone is bidding here. Maybe they're bidding it to look for other bids, but 417.90, $2.50. Look through that as a potential target. And I mean, there's nothing here to give you. The top of yesterday's range, way down at 374.13. This is out of my league on this one, folks.
How come Paul Ader's asking how come none of these analysts ever come out before the report? Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do come out
and they get stomped on.
Sometimes they come out before the report. It's a high risk proposition. Sometimes
that's it. High risk for them,
and they're right. They look like geniuses. Other times they come out and they're wrong. They look like idiots. So you know it's a high risk proposition. But Paul, I get your sentiment. I saw someone mention Ford in the chat. There was a headline this morning from Ford. They announced that they are doubling their production target on the F-150 Lightning because demand is just that high.
It's just a joke. They just don't like these stocks. Ford and GM. I'm still long Ford and GM. They're absolutely hated. The multiples are like on GM, I think it's 6. I mean, they're so dirt cheap, but cheap stocks just stay cheap sometimes. They got to get, back in favor. And right now it's turned. They're out of favor again. I don't know what turns it. I'm long them both from a valuation perspective. My CFA hat says load up, but it's tough because my trading hat says, no, these things are broken right now. And I want to see some strength before I load up. I did add back to my GM position. I'm still in all my Fords. So I'm in these things. They're full-size positions now again. But the Ford I'm in fairly cheap, but the GM I'm actually down in now. I'm averaging in GM around 49.5. So I'm actually down in it for the first time. Obviously after watching go all the way to $64. So I've been wrong. I've been wrong on these. The market doesn't like them, even though I still think they're going to be leaders in EV.
Big red candle for the month in GM. So I just let this settle and at least get a hint of some kind of green candle. No monthly major support until $40. I know no one wants to hear that. Ford, let's see how Ford's looking here. Got crazy when it got up to that 16.5, trying to put a few lows in the same area. Same scenario, except you have three monthly red bars you're working on. Maybe September will be a better month.
Yeah. The Ford thing, I honestly, I thought it would keep going. I sold it at 15, and they went to 16.
Good job.
Or no,
Good job.
no, not 15. I sold it at like 12 or 13, somewhere around there.
Oh, bad job.
And
make up your mind.
Yeah, it wasn't 15.
I've stuck with it. Usually I sell too, but I've stuck with it, and obviously I'm having a little bit of remorse for not selling it, and things come down significantly here now. It's still cheap, but I mean, this story has cooled off. The entire EV story to a certain extent has cooled off, but it's especially cooled off for the big, for the the big automakers. Toyota has been hit hard here. Honda has come down significantly from the highs. And Ford and GM have come off too. So I don't know what's going to turn that around. It's a little bit of the reopening trade going south is what's happened to them, because this is still, remember, even though they have the EV component, this is a reopening story. General Motors and Ford really is. So, and the automakers are to a certain extent as well. So, I mean, they kind of move around with those stocks. They're not tech stocks. They're not viewed as tech stocks. So when we were all rallying to tech, they've been selling these kind of stocks. And obviously, they've come down significantly. I think
pent-up demand.
But cheap stocks sometimes get cheaper, and there's a lot of overhead supply now.
I'm sorry, Joel. What are you going to say?
Pent-up. You had all that pent-up demand from the pandemic. I got to go out and get a car, and
and that's gone now.
Yep.
The great reopening isn't as great as we thought. We know that.
Yeah, I'm catching up on the chat. Someone had asked about peers to Palo Alto. All the cybersecurity stocks. You got FireEye. You've got.
I would say FireEye is the least peer.
You've got Fortinet, FTNT.
Yeah.
You've got
CrowdStrike, Okta,
Zscaler.
Yeah, I'll put them in there. Yeah.
You've got CrowdStrike. You've got CYBR, CyberArk. Right, you've got Proofpoint.
There's a dozen stocks.
What Proof? I haven't looked at Proofpoint for a while. Oh, they're getting bought. That's why. Net, Cloudflare, NET is one. Right, Frog is one. JFrog. I think we just ripped through a couple. So
I would say on these, you got to be like quick. Like if you're going to lift offers on these now. I mean, you had to been, just in my opinion, Dennis. I mean, the bots are on this. Dennis is on this. You got to be fast. I don't know where these things are.
Sympathy on earnings plays is tough too, because you get that initial move on the leader, which is Palo Alto, and you're looking there, is it going to hold? Or is this just, a head fake, because sometimes they can have good earnings and they go like this, and then they come back in. And if you jump and buy these sympathy plays, which are fairly illiquid after hours, all paying up a little bit for them, and all of a sudden the leader turns over and rolls over, then all of a sudden, you're going to be having no outs on any of those peer plays. So I trade sympathy all the time. And it's a little tricky on an earnings report, in the initial few minutes. Obviously, it's not tricky at all now. We know Palo Alto, for the most part, is not rolling over here. It doesn't appear to be rolling over at all. So now you can clearly say that, yeah, CrowdStrike, Okta, all these stocks are going to have Fortinet. Even if you want to go down to the CyberArks and the FireEye, are going to show strength here today. But it's definitely, it's a tricky play right on the initial report because sometimes you get a head fake on the leader. So just be careful.
Someone was talking about the EV stocks. I had made it wasn't quite a joke. I was pretty serious when I said yesterday that I should set an alert for every EV stock when it gets above 10. Well, it happened to Nikola this morning. But I wasn't referring to Nikola when I said that. I was thinking about
Nikola.
I was thinking about the ones that aren't as crappy. But anyway, Nikola did get above 10 this morning. And it seemed like all the EV stocks were going up yesterday for no other reason than just Joel said rotation, and for no apparent reason. It seemed like. But no, I was not referring to Nikola when I made that remark. But I was serious, and maybe I should have said we should wait to see if these things close above 10, and then I can get interested in taking a flyer here or there. But I didn't expect it to happen today.
What was the name of it was VTIQ, right? When
that was the SPAC. That was
Kenny was talking. Yeah, Kenny. What was the name of it back then?
You're right. It was VTIQ. Yeah, you got it.
But what was the name? What was the name?
It was Vector. It's like Vecto IQ acquisition.
Yeah. Whew. Boy, I don't think it's going back to 90.
No, I think a lot of these. I took major heat for this comment about 2 weeks ago. I think you're going to look at 7 out of 10 of these EV plays are going to zero. I honestly, there's like 100 of them out there, so 70% of them are going to go to zero. There's going to be 10% that are going to figure it out. There's going to be 10% that are going to turn out. Maybe 5% are going to be your leaders. So you can buy them all, and hopefully those leader ones will make up for the lost ones. But if you're in the wrong ones, don't be surprised that if you just got one, you're all in on Nikola, you're all in on Ride, or you're all in on one of these. You could pick the good one, but you could also pick the bad one too. This is a very early industry. Not all of these companies are going to survive. Not all of these companies are even going to bring products to market. So, some of them are going to run out of cash before then. So you just got to think these are still all speculative capital, including Nikola.
Can we talk Walmart for a second? There was a headline this morning. Walmart's launching a new business.
I saw that.
Walmart's launching a B2B business where they will provide the delivery service on behalf of other retailers, other local retailers. So if you order online from Joe Schmo Auto Repair, whatever, it'll be Walmart that delivers it to you.
It's just people in regular cars. I mean, they're just hiring people, right? Because we get some stuff. But I'll tell you, we ordered something from Walmart, and I mean, it's almost there after 15 seconds after Lisa hits send. I mean, she goes send, and then someone rings the doorbell, and there's the package.
They're already here.
They're quick. I'm not exaggerating. Walmart. I mean, you can buy it up here off this news. I just see 2 monthly highs at 53.86 and another monthly high at 53.40. Guys ganging up just over 152. Actually, exact double top at 152.53.5. I don't know. I mean, you can buy it off this news, but man, it's had a big run.
I've been informed that yesterday's show got over 700 likes.
Ooh, cool.
That is a lot. We are not anywhere near that right now. So I don't know whether you all liked the fact that I was not here.
Oh, poor
Come on.
It was not that.
Which is fine. But I'm here now. So
I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna like it. Where is the like on here?
Show me some love.
Oh shoot! I just hit unlike. Oh wait. Wait
a
second.
Joel.
Okay, I did. 337. That's me. I like.
Try to get more likes.
Okay.
If you want, I can get you some likes. I got you guys.
Let's see.
Mitch is here.
Let's see if Mitch can get us.
I don't want Mitch to goose the numbers.
I don't want Mitch's likes.
I don't want Mitch to goose the
There
numbers.
we go. Look at Mitch.
Between Mitch
400.
versus Spencer.
I'm going 400 bid. Look at that. 410 bid.
408.
There we
We're
go.
moving up. We're moving
410.
on up.
There we go.
Must be that Canadian internet. 419.
That's definitely what it is.
Oh, is it slow? You're at 419? My internet's that slow? I saw 416.
432.
432. I see 432.
Okay.
441.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now we can do some ticker time for real. So drop some tickers in the chat, and
He brought us back on schedule.
we
We went
we
on a
will-
20-minute tangent of I don't
we
even
will
know what
rip
we talked
through
about.
them. Yes. I need some emotional support. You're exactly right. Let's rip through some tickers here in the next 10 minutes. And let's start with the first one that I see. Peloton is the first one that I see. Let's go. PTON.
Oh man, nice pop here today. Is there news on it?
Good question. I didn't see
the stock up $2.
I did not see anything. Upgrade. Yes. 2 upgrades.
Ooh,
No.
2 upgrades.
No upgrades.
No, 2.
They're-
Ooh.
They're maintaining their outperform ratings, but they're lowering their price targets. And the
Holy
tread, the Peloton tread, will be available in the U.S., Canada, and the U.K. beginning August 30th. It's their newest product.
Joel, the eternal holder. We might as well throw this one to you.
I want out.
I want out. He's wanted to
I-
sell this for since 50, but Lisa won't let him, and she may never let you sell.
She also bought more at like 142 or something like that. Then I went to 145. There you go. Yeah, averaging up, and then I said,
I hate averaging up.
Can we? I
that
said,
often works out badly.
I said, can we pick a level where if it goes through, that we'll just cut everything? And we agreed on 130. No,
Didn't
we
work.
didn't sell at
You
130.
agreed, but you didn't get out.
I don't think I have been on my Peloton since
It's now. Does Lisa go on it?
she go. Yeah, of course. She goes on it
course,
almost.
of course,
She,
she goes on
she-
it
I
every
mean,
day.
almost, yeah, she's on it this morning. I mean, because she has to get like a 25-minute workout in before she goes to work. But I don't. I mean, the pool's open. I mean, either at 6 in the morning or after the close, if I could get 1,000, 2,000 meters in, I'm going to do that before I hop on that thing. I mean, it's okay in the dead of winter during COVID. I mean, there wasn't much else to do, but anyways, people don't care about that.
No.
I don't know. It just looks tired on the monthlies. All kinds of resistance over
The upgrade will help
120.
though.
What?
The upgrade will help.
upgrade
It'll
today,
get people
I-
interested
They're
again.
not upgrades. I misspoke. They're maintaining their bullish rating.
Oh, just commentary.
It's commentary.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
commentary.
Target 111.05. That's your 2-day high. Not too much besides that. It hasn't even got there in the pre-market high. Better if you want to call it support. Yesterday's high 108.05. If you're looking to pull this in after a short, but first target 111.02.
All right, we'll go quicker than that. Let's go to Corsair, CRSR. This is from Goy Toy.
Where's that?
Oh man, I
25
want
bucks
to
for
own
it?
this stock. I keep wanting to own this stock. It hasn't given me a reason. It's an awful, ugly downtrend. It wants to break it. It wants to break it. It wants to get me in it, but there's so much overhead supply now. Oh man, I don't even know what to say. I'm so glad I sold that Reddit rip though when it went from 34 to 42 in one day. This is why when the market gives you a gift like that, especially from Reddit, you take it. And that's what I'm talking about. Back on June 14th when the stock gapped up from $33 to $42. That was because Reddit got a hold of it and they were pumping it on Reddit. And that was just a great selling opportunity. Even the insiders were selling that day. Everybody was selling that day that, could sell and obviously came right back down. I want to own the stock. I like the story. I like gaming. I like what they're doing, but I need to see this downtrend broken.
If you want to lean on the low of the move, go right ahead. You've had 2 higher lows. You could do that. 25.04. Boom. Let's prove that we can hold 26.50. That splits the high. I mean, just all these highs in the 26 handle. I don't know. And at 27 needs a catalyst. Does it have earnings or something coming up? Anything?
No,
catalyst.
I don't believe
How's
so.
Penn doing? Did Penn get off the mat yet?
Yes,
A little bit. And what about
yes.
DraftKings?
They both did actually.
Yeah, but DraftKings, it's hanging up here. Double top it needs to get. I've been talking about these levels for 54.70, and then you need to take out 56.
DraftKings is separating itself from Penn significantly, and Penn obviously has been hammered down because they have the physical casinos. DraftKings obviously are more pure play on online sports betting, and that's why the separation now. So if we ever do start to look like we're getting past Delta, Penn could rally. I own Penn. I want to own DraftKings. I used to own GNOG, obviously, which getting taken over. I trade that. Arbitrage spread, lots. So I feel like I'm participating in it, but I don't own DraftKings.
Can you believe all these all these promotions and everything? I mean, when you have to promote and put everything, like $150 win 1,500. Well, they know if you pull off that bet that you're going to bet the 1,500 and lose. So I don't know. I mean, these things.
Joel doesn't like gambling. He thinks
I
gambling.
mean, I did it when I was like 10 years old. I had a bookie. I mean, it's just like so old now.
Was that legal?
Yeah.
Joel,
Yeah,
if someone gave you free money to make a trade, would you take a trade?
Yeah.
But he'll complain about it.
But yeah. But then you make money from it. The only reason they do it is they know you're going to lose it. I mean, that's what they do. If you
I'm
make
waiting
the
for the
money.
brokers to do this.
I don't
the
know.
casino.
I mean, you can get bullish these stocks if you want.
They know like what's going to happen to me happens. What happened to me happened to everyone. Where I took their free money, I placed a bet, I won. I was like, hell yeah, I'm going round 2, double it up, and then I lost. Right? That's how it goes.
Suicide pools. I like doing. Mitch, will you help me with one this year? I got a good one to get into.
Okay.
Those are good.
Let's get it. Winner, chicken dinner.
Okay, wait. Let's go to Pinterest. We had a few people ask about Pinterest in the chat.
Oh, I haven't looked at it for a while. It's
Yeah.
started to show life. It's trying. You know what? This market, and I had this written on my sheet too, and we didn't talk about it. This was the market yesterday that was looking for the stocks that were beaten down the most. Those were the names that they wanted, like the Alibaba. A lot of the Chinese names fall into that. Las Vegas Sands definitely falls into that category. So this market was looking for what was beaten down, and that's what it was buying yesterday. Pinterest is definitely a beaten down name. Does that follow through here today? It might. It was a decent couple-day rally up to 55. We got to get up through 55. We got to close above there. There probably is room to 60 on this thing, but trend is not your friend.
The earnings day move, and then it tried, and then it took out that earnings day low. I mean, you got 2 higher lows. Let's see, short-term target today with no big catalyst out there for pins, maybe just over where we trade in 55.20. I mean, you got another maybe a buck on this today if it really catches a bid. I'd say you got to keep your heads up at 56.40. That splits 3 highs from last week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, from 56.26 to 56.63.
I'm trying to find tickers that either we haven't talked about it for a hot second, or where I don't think I know I can predict what the guys are going to say based on what the chart looks like.
Let's try that for one. Let's try that on the next one.
Well, that's what I'm trying to, like, for example, if you ask about a stock that's in like a massive downtrend, I have some idea of what the guys are going to say. We have some idea of what they're going to say, right?
We're definitely a little more Momo. What about SoFi?
Right.
This is a widely followed stock. You know what? This actually has put in a nice little double bottom. 1356, 1385. So you now have a tradable level once again. It seems like every time SoFi puts in a double bottom and shows a life for a day, then it shows death 3 days later. So it's hard to just turn around and get bullish. But I mean, if you want to take a shot, 1350, that's your out. So you're risking a buck here right now, 1450. Maybe it comes in a little bit. You pick it up at yesterday's low, 1425. Can the SoFi story get hot eventually? I think it can. It's oversold. I've kind of want to own this one too, but it hasn't really given me a technical signal to buy it, at least not in the last 5 days.
So you're saying I should average down?
Are you in SoFi?
Hell yeah, I've been in like.
That's what Joel says. Never frown. Average down.
I'm in from like 20.
Well, that sucks.
That sucks.
Next.
I'll give you the positive scenario. 3 down months in a row, 1 up month. This is the 3rd down month, so maybe September will be a better month. But, folks, that's it for me today. I'm going to hop over to premarketprep.com and try and pick up all these stocks we didn't get to cover. Spencer, check in with you later on.
It's not a trade, guys. I'm not in SoFi for a trade. Get off my back.
That's what I say, too, when they all turn bad.
I said that from the beginning. It's not a trade. Know why you're buying something. And I did not buy it for a trade.
How often do you enter something for a trade? It's mostly investing for you, right?
I'll do like a swing trade every so often, but not super frequently, unless I'm like, because my biggest issue is I don't have the ability to babysit stuff, right? And like constantly, but I guess I can throw out stuff.
I have the over babysitting problem.
Yeah.
I look at something and it starts to just breached, and I was like, ugh. And I start babysitting my long-term portfolio, and I try not to do it. You try to keep it separate. You try not to log in, but you kind of know what you own. So I have the over babysitting problem, which gets me into trouble sometimes. So
Rich is
sometimes
asking,
watch the screen too much.
Yeah, Rich is asking where to put $1,000 today. Rich, take your $1,000, put it in yourself, invest it in you. It is the best investment you will ever make, Rich.
I'll tell you where I won't be putting is Coinbase.
In Coinbase? No. He means, he doesn't mean the stock. He means actually in Coinbase. Like
no, I'm not putting in a Coinbase account.
In the Coinbase. He won't be doing that. And we love you,
Coinbase.
We've come full circle. All right, Dennis.
That's the end when we come full circle.
We come full circle today. Let me get on our guest today, Rance Masheck, president and founder of iVest Plus. He's got decades of experience in the market. Rance, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing this morning, Spencer?
Doing great. I had your screen, but then I lost it. And so can we get it back here?
I can.
Now I lost your camera.
I pushed the wrong button.
Yeah.
There we go. Share screen. There we go.
Rance, while you're doing that, what are you watching out there?
One of the things that I've been looking at here recently is some of my. I have a list of what I'd call the COVID stocks that I've been playing through this. So one of them here we have is Carvana. And we felt that. What we were looking at with this was what would happen with more of the, the home thing, so things like gig economy, things like entertainment from home. So the Netflix world, right? Work from home stuff like Zoom, Autodesk, stuff like that. So that's some of what we were looking at here. And we're sharing my, I don't know if we're sharing my screen.
We are.
Right.
Tell us what exactly we're looking at right here. So obviously I see Carvana, I see a bunch of, I see 8 stocks up there, but we got a heat map, we got some sectors.
Right. So this is the market platform. Right, over here we have our our indices. We're looking at advanced decline and 52-week high-low activity. We have a heat map, and we can look at different ones. I'm on the S&P 500 right now. And so it's a little bit of what we have, just kind of a market overview. And then I have my my watch list here in the middle. Actually, I also have a bigger watch list plan, which is actually what I go to, and I can look at it in a couple different ways here. And so if I look at, let's see with the medium view here. So these were my stocks where that I was paying attention to. You also see a little bit of the scoring going on where we look at 4 areas from technicals, inner circle, that's institutional activity and insider activity, valuation, and fundamentals here. That's my scoring that I got going on. So we were looking at some of these stocks early on during the COVID experience. And looking at what we felt would maybe have some benefit from the lockdown, right? And the new world that we have entered into with COVID, and as things have come back to normal. I was actually reading. There's been a bit on this recently, but yesterday reading an article about how many people are pushing back from the work from home, where they're talking about bringing people back into offices, and how people really don't want to do that. It's not because of COVID now; it's just because they have a new sense of flexibility in life, and they don't want to lose that. And so, we're looking at what would benefit from those type of things. And so this was my, I know you guys were talking about Walmart. I agree. It's a little bit overextended right now. I think it's in that, point of pause here, and seeing how, what's going to happen, from this point. It clearly, it's a little bit rich up in this area, at least until it clears out some highs and gets back to that. But there were some things that we thought were interesting, and some of those have played out well and some have not. So we were talking about Carvana being able to, they were talking about buying your car from a vending machine prior to COVID. And now there's a lot of dealerships in that are also trying to push that at-home delivery experience. And, Carvana was driving that from before. And so, that was one. Pfizer, obviously, this is one that, especially with the announcement, which was expected yesterday, with this being, FDA approved. And I think you see that run up in the last month, just with that expectation. But, clearly over the last year, this is, over the last year, it was kind of static for a bit, right? Kind of running in a range between 34, 40. stuck around 40 for a while. And then, of course, as it's approaching that approval, we saw some activity on that as well. So those, these are some of the things that we were paying attention to.
Can you go back to your watch list? Okay, yeah. Go back to the
Yeah.
screen. So I look at the different buttons up top. Technicals, fundamentals, insiders, right? And what makes this list? Because I don't see any real pattern here. You've got some stocks here where you got looks like of the 4 categories, most of them are green. You got some others where they're yellow.
Well, and we have some. Right,
there's a mix. So what makes your watch list?
Well, this particular list here was actually my our picks from here, discussing in the office around what we felt could benefit through COVID. So this was literally just my picked stocks from that. Actually, I do want to show you something else on what's going on with the NASDAQ in just a sec, with some of the stocks on that. But so we have the Pfizer, Zoom, which actually is way off its highs.
Right.
Autodesk, Shopify. We were talking earlier about Pendleton, and I think it went from being the in some homes the point of activity to back to the clothes hanger. So we're seeing that reflect a little bit in the stock. We felt that Etsy would have some benefit, and it certainly did in the last. It's been kind of static the last 4 months. Costco doing really well. In fact, if we look here at Costco just a little more, you look at the run that Costco's, I think it's a little bit rich in this area. In fact, if we look at the valuation numbers, I mean, it's at the very trailing P. It's actually still, even though it's had that run, it's still actually in the lower end of it. So what we're looking at here is in my valuation tab. This is PE. We're looking at the low PE of the last 3 years and the high PE of the last 3 years. So it's been running between 20 and 43 PE. And right now it's sitting at about 25. So it's kind of still in the lower end of its PE range, even with the major run up here, now sitting at 453 today. 450, almost 455 today. So it's had a bit of a run, but still in a pretty good valuation look at this level. That's a bit of a run. So I'm a little hesitant up at this level, but at the same time, again, looking at the valuation, it looks like it has some room to move there. You guys were, so we have Microsoft, just rounding out my list here, Walmart, Facebook, Amazon, which is down substantially from its high, and then Netflix, which had a pullback and is now pushing back up to a new high as we're looking at that. So those were some of the stocks that. So it actually Netflix, had a pullback. It's up again, but it hasn't really over the last year moved as much as we thought. Now, if you look back to the COVID time here, let me just open my thing up here to my 2-year window. You look at what happened with COVID, where it was all the way down here at about 300. Now it's sitting at, 533. It had this big run up, but then it's been a little bit static in that window. So those are some of the stocks that we were looking at the beginning of COVID that we've been playing through this.
So those are all like COVID plays, but now we're coming through this, right? We've got we've got one vaccine that has full FDA approval. Others are coming. We've had the vaccines out now for a while. We are not all the way through it, obviously, but we are closer to the end than we are to the beginning.
Right. We had, and I think that the approval of Pfizer, I think, is going to be a bit of a game changer, because now you'll have companies that were really not at a point where they could really mandate that are going to start doing that. I mean, I've heard that here in the California area being kind of tapped into some of the tech arena here. I really see that's happening a bit, right? You're seeing more and more of that going on, where you're going to see companies mandating it to come back into the office. One of the other things, by the way, that I think is really interesting is the number of companies here that said work from home, but then, now have started shifting their tune. Although most of those companies have pushed out to January for a required return to office, environment. So But so really what I looked at was I looked at the NASDAQ. So what we have here right now is this is our screener. And all I did was I pulled up the performance of the last 6 months on the NASDAQ 100. And I wanted to look at just stocks that had moved in the last 6 months up 25% or more. And, we have here, of course, some expecteds with Moderna up 119% in the last 6 months. Regeneron also up 40%, but then you also, then you've got this whole stack of them that are up quite a bit in the last 6 months in that 30%, 25-30% range, including NVIDIA, Intuitive Surgical, Facebook, Adobe, which we had already talked about on that list, and a few others in here. Intuit, I think Intuit's kind of an interesting one right now. It's up 32% in the last 6 months. And what we're seeing in this is a bit of institutional buying going on, and also seeing some strong fundamentals. It's a little on the rich side right now if we're looking at the valuation numbers. But when you look at what's been happening with earnings on this, so here we're saying this is our quick view fundamentals page where you're seeing sales growth. Here's your profit margin, and then your earnings quality down here. And you're seeing here again, some strong earnings on this. Now, of course, for Intuit, that April quarter is always a big one for them because it's their Christmas, it's tax filing season, right? But again, year over year, you're seeing some real strength in what's going on with that as well. So I just looked at this and was looking at, okay, what are we seeing in these areas? And so those are some of the ones that we're seeing. Costco's on that list. Both ADP and Paychex are on that list, which I think is a little interesting that those are on, have seen such a huge move. And I guess from a shorter term view, as people are returning to work, certainly they're going to see that benefit. But I was actually a little surprised to see both those on here. But
so again, I'm looking through this list and I'm looking at all the different buttons and the different colors, and there doesn't seem to be a real pattern. Maybe the best performing stuff, the top ones, Moderna, Regeneron, and NVIDIA, have more green than yellow and red. But like you go down the list, it's not. Costco is nothing to sneeze at. 30% in the last 6 months. It's not bad, So it doesn't seem like there's a real pattern here to the quality, the performance of the stock versus all the different factors, the insider buying, the fundamentals, the technicals, right, et cetera.
Right. So one of the things we can do here, if we talk about our scoring system, one of the things about this is scoring is a tool in the process. Like, for example, if you look at Costco, Costco here on the technicals is yellow, but if you look at what's been going on with the stock itself, it's looking pretty strong here. But you've seen a little bit of a pullback in recent days from a short-term view. It's a little bit, there's a little bit of a hiccup compared to its overall trend here, although still on near new highs. So there's a little bit of how you use the tool. Right now, if you look at this, you're seeing here under valuation level, you're seeing valuation level, you're seeing the forward PE. That's our problem here. This is why this is red. If you look at the trailing PE in Costco, it's looking pretty good, but the forward PE has a bit of a challenge with this, and that really comes down to the projected earnings have reduced here compared to where they were. If you look at projected price on Costco, you've got the mean here of the analyst projections is at 433, with it sitting at 454. So you've got a high projection of 500. So you still have some movement there, but when you weigh it all together, there's some mixed signal here, and yellow is kind of a neutral, caution kind of as you look at this, and that's what we're seeing. Now, I will tell you though, as you're talking about this, if I go back to my screener here, and if I go, look, I want to find out what's going on that's looking green. Let's do that for just a second here, because I think that's a pretty powerful piece of this too. Is if I go to my score side of this, and I'm actually going to reduce the index. I'm not going to limit it to the NASDAQ 100. Hit this, and then on my score, let me just look at what's showing up as green here, so we can just see. Let's pick some of the cream of the crop in the game right now. that have been moving up in the last bit. So if I run that, we will. Let's see. I actually don't have. Let's see if I do this. I'm on my dev. So I shouldn't have done this. I'm on my developer system here, and I'm actually not getting my my score numbers in this morning yet. We're about as we're prepping for market open, we're reevaluating right now. So I'm not getting the score numbers in right this minute. So I can't, unfortunately, can't show you that. So
Here, let's look at there's just a couple more here, and then we'll let you run. We got a question from the chat. If you can look at Snapchat or Twilio.
Okay. So go over here and look at Snapchat.
It's from the Benzinga Pro chat.
Snap. What do we have? Help me on that. I don't trade Snapchat. What's the
SNAP, Snap.
Oh, it is SNAP.
Yeah.
So it's Snap. Snap. Okay. Oops. Snap. NAP. Here we go. So if we look at Snapchat right now, we have kind of a neutral on the technicals. We're seeing neutral on both fundamentals and inner circle. But if we take a look real quick at what's happening here on the technicals on this, we saw a run up, a little bit of a pullback now, popped up after earnings, filling in the gap right now. But right now we're looking at our scoring as kind of a neutral on this, but it came off of a pretty strong earnings report, expected to lose 18 cents, ended up making 10 cents, popped on that and settling in off of that yesterday, up quite a bit as well. So, I think there's some, again, when you see the neutral, that doesn't mean it's not not good or bad. It's like it's mixed signals in the game. So you can look at it further to see how how it's playing out. I will tell you that when you look at the inner circle side of this, there's been some insider selling going on, as we can see here. But there's actually been institutional buying going on. So the institutions are liking this, but there's been a bit of insider selling going on this. And when you look at the valuation side of it, it is a little bit on the overvalued side right now. On that as well. So Snap, I think that from a technical standpoint, you've got, it had that pop. It's doing a little bit of a pullback. We're seeing some upward momentum right now. I would be a little, especially bouncing off, what was resistance now turning in support seems to be playing true here. I think there's some opportunity here, but I'd be a little bit cautious on it from some of those areas, looking. We do a bit on the fundamental side as well. We've seen some strong sales growth there. Profit margins have been getting better, but they went from, again, expected loss to gain. So I think there's some opportunity here, but I'd be a little bit cautious with it. But coming right now off of, again, what was that resistance now showing as support. So,
all right. Rance Masheck is the founder and CEO of iVest Plus. You've got the platform that you've seen up on the screen right there, Market Gear. Rance, thank you so much for giving us some ideas, talking through.
Thanks, Spencer. Appreciate it.
Through your watch list. Thanks a lot.
Glad to be here. Thanks.
All right, guys. It is 9:18. We got 7 minutes until the open. I want to do a quick crypto update. Let's do that right now. Okay, there you see mostly red on the screen this morning. That's quite all right. It happens. We can't go up every single day. All the majors, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, even I'd call Doge a major, right? You'd call Doge a major, right? XRP, Binance, all in the red today. Let's dive a little bit deeper into the individual cryptos. Bitcoin. Oh, we did just sneak for a hot second there. Over 50,000 yesterday, and now we're back below at $49,160. You guys can't see my screen. Hold on, let me share my my entire window here. There we go. $49,146 is where we're at in Bitcoin this morning. So, can we get and hold above 50? We want to see it. We're rooting for that today. That's a big psychological number, right? Every 10,000, right, is psychological, but 50 is especially so, right? It's halfway to 100, right? 50 is big. 50 is big. So let's see if we can hold 50 today. Let's see if we can get to 50 today and hold 50 today, unlike yesterday. Ethereum, it's kind of the same story, right? We had that huge run up and we've just kind of consolidated, going sideways. We regained those losses from the other week. It's nice to see, but we've got this. How many highs is that in the same area? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so many highs in this 33,000 area, and we're right there right now. So resistance is resistance until it's broken. Looking at some big gainers and big losers of the day. Your biggest gainer for the moment is Luna. You like to see it. Luna is your ticker. Terra is your crypto. Luna's up. What is that? 12% today already. Wow. Can we zoom out on this? Look at this. This thing went from, what was it, a month ago? Today is the 24th. A month ago, it was $5. No, it wasn't. A month ago, it was $7. A month ago, it was $7, $8. Call it $8. You got it from 8 to 33 in a month. This is why there is a gold rush in crypto right now. It's because there's always a Luna, but we all know for every Luna, there is a AMP, right? Today, AMP is your biggest loser, down 6%. Down to 6 cents. Do some technical analysis on his 6 cent crypto. Not for me. Anyway, like there it is. Heat map, more red than green, liable to change at any point in the day. As a reminder, these crypto updates are brought to you by Voyager. Get $50 in free Bitcoin. Here's what you got to do. You have to first download the Voyager app. That's step 1. Okay. Step 2 is you have to create an account. Okay. Step 3 is you have to use the code ZING, Z-I-N-G. Step 4, that's 3. Step 4 is deposit at least $100. And once you do all that, then you will get $50 in free Bitcoin with over 60 assets to choose from and annual yield earnings of up to 12%. Voyager is your launch pad into the world of crypto. Okay, I made it through, everyone. I was a little bit rusty today, I'm not going to lie. I missed one day. Shake off some rust a little bit. That's all right, though. How many likes are we at? We're at 600. Can we get to 650 or 7 in the next 2 minutes? That would be ideal for me. That would be ideal. Mitch, what's up?
Just wanted to tell everybody, if you want, I would definitely smash that like and get him up to 750 because I'm giving out picks this morning. Go check it out, guys. There's a video that you guys can find pinned to the chat and go see some picks. I literally am in one of these, and the reason why I'm putting it out this early is so that if you guys want to make some investment decisions this morning, you can go ahead and do so.
All right, we got Mitch's picks out right now, and also coming out right now or in a minute or so is David Green live trading the open today, as he is every Monday and Tuesday with us, 9:30 or 9:25 till 11. This video will end. Zinger and redirection David. Yes, Casey Hansen. Zinger Nation is bullish. I'm sorry, cannot get to all the tickers. We try every day. And it's a never-ending mission for us. Hey, you guys, I tried to do a half-hour ticker time, and the guys are like, we don't want that. But that being said, you can always drop your tickers into the chat with David Green, and he will also do his best to look at those. We're live throughout the day, guys, as we are every day. David Green, right? SPACs, Power Hour, Get Technical, The Roadmap, our new NFT show at 2 o'clock today. And then Joel and I will be back at 3:30. With that to close, followed by Money Mitch, followed by Cannabis Insider, followed by Ryan Rose Biani. So, smash the like button, hit subscribe. Please remember all the information from our show is meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. And I'm done. Everyone have a good rest of your day. Good luck. Stay filled. Stay green, which is more important. And we'll see you later. David Green coming up next.